Brian, a 90-minute performance to be really proud of today from your players.
I thought the boys were magnificent from start to finish, really. I think you can see Cove possess a threat going forward. They play on the shoulder, they've got really clever players with Yule and Megginson, and I thought we limited them to very little. They had a wee 5-10 minute spell to start the second half, but we kind of overcame it. And for all those that were at the game, we were deserving winners. I thought we were physical across the pitch, we covered the ground well, we kept it when we needed to, we pressed well. Big Aaron came in and solidified the defence with his sheer presence, and had a debut you can be really proud of. But across the team, our big players stood up. I thought Cam was a lot better, Max was a lot better, Shanks was outstanding today and caused them all sorts of problems with his raw power and his speed, and we just looked a threat every time we went forward. So really proud performance. It's been a difficult 2 weeks for us against the full-time teams away from home. We've been quite well beaten, and we haven't really stood up to the threat. So I thought today the guys, if they take the negativity and the criticism the last couple of weeks, I think they deserve all the plaudits that they're going to get for this week.
I think that first half there wasn't really a lot in the game in terms of chances for either side, but I mean that first goal is just a moment of brilliance from McGuffey with that ball into Max and a fantastic finish as well.
Yeah, I think that's what Craig gives us, moments of quality. I think the first half it took maybe 10-15 minutes for the game to really settle. It was two teams that have maybe been a wee bit low in confidence the last couple of weeks trying to work each other out, but I think once we settled we grew into the game a lot more than they did. Got our 2 goals. We could argue we had another one with Kieran's bizarre opportunity, you could say. I don't think anyone the ground knew what was happening, but we could have been 3-0 out the side there and made really easy work in the second half there against a full-time outfit. So pleasing, yeah, sticky enough game. You always want to get against Cove Rangers teams when they've got players like Glass and I've named them all across the team, but they're good players, good experienced pros. So I thought we stood up to them really well today.
There's a lot made in the summer, obviously, with Kieran signing his new deal. Gets a goal, gets an assist, and as you say, just run that defence ragged today. I think Doyle was probably lucky not to be sent off a couple of grabs in his shirt and what have you, and that's just what he brings to this team, isn't it?
Look, I'm not an advocate of getting players sent off, but I think the ref got the right decision with you, and I think he got the wrong decision with Megginson. I think he was away to send him. He went into he put his hand in his pocket, he was away to send him off, and I made eye contact with Mitch and said no. So mistakes happen. I think it was a mistake, but in the overall complexity of things, I thought we stood up to the physical challenge as well. The Cove had 3 or 4 players that were 6'5". Kieran, back to the original part of the question, Kieran used his physicality really well. He's a really strong, durable guy. I thought he had one of his better games today, especially this season. But we know he can do that. He's got good speed, he's strong. But even like the third goal, he links it so well, takes the ball in, limits the touches, and just plays a lovely slide ball for Jack and made him go outside.
Obviously, coming into this game, Jason's injured last week. New signing in Aaron. Div gets injured in the warm-up. It's not the ideal preparations, but the back four has stepped up to the mark today and did really well.
Absolutely, I think we've been a wee bit. I don't know if gung-ho is the right word to use, but it's been really difficult to plan teams. Our hands have been a wee bit tied, forced into situations, change of shapes. We got a loss of form to certain players, certain areas, but of course, like Jason's a big miss. David Wilson's starting the game today, and he's spewing in the home dressing room there before the match, so there's just no way he can go out and play under that circumstances. Caleb pulled up injured on Wednesday, so we've not had much luck at all. Very lucky that we managed to get Big Aaron over the line last night. Fought for a lot of competition there. To get somebody of his stature to come in, and I thought he was excellent. I thought the back four stood up to Flynn much more like himself, Danny much more like himself. Caleb looked better with somebody physical beside him. Jack made a couple of good saves when he was asked, and the midfield, we weren't too detached today. I thought our distances were pretty good.
Quick turnaround to Tuesday night, obviously back into the cup against a really good Spartans team. We've seen enough over the last couple of years as to just how good they are, and it'll be another good test for you and the boys.
Massive test. We know how good that they are. They're almost an identical team to what they have been for the last 2 or 3 seasons. So we know what to expect. I think they'll make changes, of course they will. So will we. We'll get a squad that's ready, available, needed minutes, good condition. We do want to progress in the cup, of course we do, but we're also aware that the league. The league is the priority, but players need minutes, players need time, and we'll manage the squad as best as we can.